What is going on, everybody? Charmaniard is back again with some more Rainbow Six Siege speculations. Today I'm going to be bringing you Season 4, the final season of the Year 1 roadmap for Rainbow Six Siege, and that is none other than the Japanese team. Now, my own predictions for this are going to be based on information. I will have the sources cited below in the description, and as always, this is only my prediction, so take everything you hear today with a grain of salt. I don't work for Ubisoft. I don't know people in Ubisoft. I'm not an Uber hacker, so I don't really have any actual legit sources. This is just what I believe might be in the game through the information that I've researched. So let's get started right now. So the team that I believe they're going to be using is the JSAT, J-S-A-T, also known as the Japanese Special Assault Team. A little brief history of this team. It's said to be formed after the hijacking of a Japanese aircraft in 1977 by a group of militant communists. You can look it up. It's called the Dhaka, D-H-A-K-A incident. And basically, it actually went fairly well in regards of human life. Nobody died, and really the diplomats and the prime minister kind of just gave the terrorists their demands. They freed some of their members, and then they let them go on their merry way to other stops to basically escape and then let some hostages out. And nobody died on either side. And while it is good for everybody that there was no loss of human life, it also just kind of shows that if incidents like this continue to happen, that they're pretty much guaranteed to get away. So the Japanese National Police Force established these special assault teams to deal with terrorism and different terrorist acts in the future. And this is even better, or at least this is even better used nowadays, now that terrorism is in such widespread where it really can happen any place, anytime, all over the world. So teams like this are needed pretty much everywhere now in the world. So now with that one, let's go into the possible locations. I've narrowed it down to 2 different locations it could possibly be. The first one, a subway map. It'd be nice to kind of go underground, to go through manhole covers, you know, have different points of entry, go through abandoned subway tunnels, maintenance shafts, you know, really deal with like a creepy, dark, gloomy thing, you know, like abandoned tunnels or just completely sealed off. The map would be really linear besides, you know, going into some subway trains or even bullet trains. Just kind of have a train station would be nice, would be a nice addition to have, you know, the crackles, to see the lights kind of flickering every now and then, to hear other trains in the distance to kind of add a little ambiance to it. And it would just be really nice to have a really dark, creepy map to where you really have to be 110% aware of everything around you, because you don't know if there's a trap, you don't know if there's somebody waiting in a corner just waiting to kind of spring out and do a surprise attack before you can get there. And my second location, I think they would really do a good job if they did this, is an historic castle, specifically like an imperial Japanese era castle, you know, the big giant gates, the koi pond, the big wooden steps that lead up to the like sept kind of thing. I really don't know what to call it, so I apologize for that. Big destructible paper walls, just old school memorabilia everywhere, maybe like samurai armor in the corners, a room with samurai swords, you know, something like that. It would really just add a nice little, like, a new oomph to it, because you have everything that's so modern. You have the dust line maps, you have the yacht, which is, you know, something kind of new. It was a nice direction they took it there. But to go somewhere like a historic castle, to bring it back so many years, but then modernize it with the teams you have going in, I think it would be just a really aesthetically pleasing piece of art to look at and to play and blow everything up. So now let's get into the potential guns. So the potential new guns that we could see, the first one for the primary weapons is the Howa Type 89. It is a low to medium recoil mid-range assault rifle, so it's kind of similar to Thermite's rifle in both design and use. I have it put up in this picture right now. Note, this is not a picture of the actual loadout of the actual character. This is not his name. This is just something I did to kind of give you guys a better idea of what we might possibly look at when we look at the offensive operator. I don't really have too much for the defensive operator at the moment. I just wanted to do this just kind of quickly, just to, you know, make it a little bit more fun, make you guys look at something and get a better feel for when we get the operators in October, or you know, in the late fall is when they come out. So past the Howa Type 89, we also have the M4 Carbine. Again, this is kind of a staple for most first-person shooters. They have the M4, they have the N16, they have the M14, stuff like that. It'd be nice to see a gun that's so widely used all over the world, especially in our own military, in this game, because it just kind of deserves to be in a game like this. So then after that, we have our pistols. Potentially, we could see them getting a new SIG Sauer gun. I know there's the P20 or the 22.6 in the game. I could be wrong, could be the 228. So we might get a variant of the Sig Sauer gun. But specifically, what I would love to see, what a lot of people would love to see, is a Glock in the game. The Glock 18, the Glock 17, the Glock 19. Pretty much a 9mm low recoil pistol, mid-stopping power. It's a combat use gun. You know, you can use it out in the field and such. 12-round magazine for the semi-automatic version. And of course, the full auto version, 17-round mag, and you could switch between the fire rates. That would basically be like having the PDW that Smoke uses. I believe it's Smoke that uses it. I apologize if I get it wrong. I never play Smoke. You know, it would just kind of be a good way to put down suppressing fire. It really wouldn't be a kill tool, like you ran out of ammo and you just have to switch to this, and the fully automatic just kind of will keep people back. That's kind of what I believe would be into the game. It would really be a nice little change to it to have a machine pistol, or even have a burst pistol. I know there's the 93R. That's the only thing I remember from the Call of Duty games. You know, you could have like a burst pistol. That'd be nice if it was like a medium stopping power gun for a light character. So, you know, past all that, this is probably the hardest part that I've had to research because it's just been such a pain in the ass. Let's get into the potential new character gadgets that we might see in the game. So, the potential new gadgets that we might see in this game. Now, I'm going to warn you guys right now, I have no clue what they might put in this with the ladder, with some of the motion sensor stuff. I'm kind of like brain shot with a lot of my other stuff and a lot of things going on right now, so forgive me because these gadgets are really not the best. Because with games like this, you really don't know what direction they might take it. So, I'm going to stop talking about all that. Let's get right into it. The first one, very highly unlikely. Throwing knife. This might be a little racist to say, but also throwing star. You know, it'd be a silent weapon. It'd basically be the same damage as like a mid-level pistol. So let's say the Makarov that Fuse uses. It's really only used for showing off. It's not going to be too much of a tactical advantage. I mean, if you can kind of like get up on the team during a firefight and get under them or something, or through a window and throw a knife at them and get a headshot and then just kind of dip out, it's going to kind of disorient the team because they're not really going to know where you are because it's a silent thing. It really doesn't make any noise. The next one, very, very highly unlikely. Incendiary ammo of some sort, really just kind of used to break down barriers quicker. Let's say like it does like a burn damage to the windows, and the windows burn up and they kind of fall down, so you can like shoot them once and they kind of like go away, and then after a few seconds you know it's going to be falling down. Really, other than that, it would do a little bit extra damage to people because it's burning them a little bit. And then if you fire it close enough and right in their line of sight, it's going to blind them a bit because it's a giant flash of light coming towards them. High spread, but like decent damage because you don't want it to be too overpowered. Now, one that a lot of people want to see, I myself would be very happy to see it, very interested to see how they do it, would be some type of improvised recon drone. You know, some type of drone that it's kind of like the rest, but it can go up walls very slowly, or maybe it can use ladders, stuff like that. It just kind of like rolls up them. It has some type of system with it. Or even if they really wanted to make it interesting, do some type of flying drone. Let's say you can have it's like one of the quadcopter things, but a little bit smaller. It can go through vents that other drones really can't go up. It can go back up and go around. And even just to kind of make it a little bit more interesting, have the camera on the front of it and then a camera on the bottom. And basically when you park the drone, you can activate something so it's almost like a black hat. So a good way to counter that would be when you ever use the little camera on the bottom that can swivel and see in 360. It's kind of like the cameras that are already on the map. You know, it's really only useful for, let's say, if you can get on top of a light or get on top of like a bookshelf that other drones have a hard time getting on top of, and you can just, you know, look around and talk to your team and tell them where exactly people are. Like I said, these 3 new gadgets aren't really the best. I'm having a hard time thinking of other things that might add in the game because you never really know. I mean, with the bear trap, that was kind of one of the jokes that people had with Frost. You know, oh, a bear trap, or like a maple syrup thing, or like a moose, you know, something crazy. And, you know, we got it. Or we have things like Fuse's grenade launcher that fires grenades inside the room. We have the ladder audio that we heard. We have the motion sensors that people really want into the game. We even have the heartbeat sensor, which is something that was kind of, you know, out there and it was kind of random. So we really never know what Ubisoft will put into this game. This video is pretty much at an end. So like I said, if I'm wrong or incorrect about anything, please let me know in the comments below, because I'm not a guru about this stuff. I'm just doing research. I will have my sources in the description. Please comment, like it, dislike it, let me know if you love it, let me know if you hate it. If you really do like it and want to see content like this, subscribe. And before I go, next week I will not have a video out. Next week is my birthday week, so I'll just kind of be chilling out. I might have something new. I've been thinking of doing a walkthrough of a game, you know, start doing more computer games, because I really don't do too many computer games, and I've really been getting into computers more often, and more recently, I should say. And on that one, I'm going to head off for the day. You guys have a great day, have a great week. I will see you guys in 2 weeks' time. Hope you guys had a great 4th of July for all my Americans out there, and for everybody else, enjoy the rest of the week.